So welcome to Python tutorial, and in this module we are going to be talking about list in Python. So list is actually a kind of a data sequence or sequence data types that it is indexed and also it is changeable. So if you remember vividly in other tutorials, I actually make mention of a sequence data types where we have the list, we have the tuple, and all stuff like that. So let's just start with number one, which is the list. So list is actually out like a container. So and it's the syntax is very simple. So we do something like, let me just say my list. So my list, then followed by the square bracket or square parentheses. So this is just acting just like a container, and it can actually contains each of value, or let me say it can contains it can contains sorry, informations about whatsoever you want to be in your list. So let's say my list just want to contain the let me say the list of programming language. So I can start by saying C++, then I can say okay, Java, then I can say PHP, then I can say Python. So that's actually that's actually how the list works. So it's actually put all these guys on index, and each of them on each index can be changeable. So what I mean by index is it start from 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So instead of creating something like list 1 equals to C++, then we go by list 2 equals to something like Java, then we go by list 3. So you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. So it really makes things easy to just go ahead and wrap everything up inside a single list like this, a single variable like this. So what about if I want to get each value of this list out? So probably my target is C++. It's just simple. I can just say print my list. So print my list, then on what kind of index do I want to get my link. So you realize I actually write my link followed by the square bracket. So we know the first one is actually on index of 0, and that is referencing to the C++. So right here, if I just say Python 3 of I think it's lists, yeah, list.py, and you can see easily we have the C++. So what about we want to get Java? So we can actually say 1, right? Then the information goes like that. So that is actually the simplest way, let me say the simplest form to actually go ahead and get the list. So let's just manipulate this Java. Probably we are thinking out of my list I just want to change something. So we can say my list on index of 1 is actually equals to, so in case I will create Java with JavaScript. So exactly now, so if I actually try to print out the list on the index of 1 again, let's try this around this again, you can see it's now returning JavaScript, is no longer returning Java, and that is because what we are doing is actually the same thing as creating my list, or let me say to create list is equals to, okay, list 1 equals to Java, and later we now say list 1 equals to JavaScript. So you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. So there is no difference between doing this and also doing this, so you just get how it works now. So I'll quickly show you how you can actually manipulate the value on a list. So and show you how to get a value on a list. And what if you actually want to get the whole value at the same time? And that is when the loop comes in place. So how does the loops work exactly? So for example, for you to loop through a list in Python, you just use the for loop. So the for loop is actually a loop statement that allows you to actually loop through from sequence of variables or any sequence iteratable element. What I mean iteratable element, I mean loopable element, for you to actually do something on it, manipulate it, extract data, or do whatever you like. So you can just say for I and then my list. So that's all. Then this is actually a syntax in Python. You end it with a actual columns like this in Python, then right on the next line. So don't forget that Python is an index program, so here between these actually exists a tab. So you just want to press a tab, On any of the tab that you have used, if you actually use tab, that is what I advise to be using at all your program, else you are going to have a broken code where Python is going to return an error to us saying we missed something up. So we can just say print I, and if I try to run this code, you're going to see the magic that is going to happen. So you can see this code actually tries to print out the C++, the JavaScript, the PHP, and the Python all at the same time on the all at the same time